Hello everyone, it is Friday, again, Friday. The week has flown. It's been a good week though. It's been a good week. It's been a productive week. It's been a topsy-turvy week. A lot of good news has happened, but some bad news has happened too. There's always the mixture of the two. But I'm going to focus this video on music. You can't really hear it too much, but in the background is my water-damaged version copy of Planet Gong Floating Anarchy 1977. This is my second copy. I actually had an original when they first bootlegged it, it was a boot. Then I sold it and then managed to snag another one. But I was able to afford it because the cover was water damaged. But the record is fine, so that's what I'm playing in the background. Right quick, Sonospheres 2. I'm declaring this sold out. I've taken it off of my blog site for sale because I just have a couple copies left. Someone had contacted me about wanting to buy it, and I gave them the information and never heard anything. And then another person got a hold of me about Sonospheres, wanted it, but bought it. So they got the last official version. Well, it wasn't official, but they got the last version I was declaring on sale. What I'm saying is, if you're interested in a copy of Sonospheres, I'm going to be selling it at a higher rate. I've got maybe 3 or 4 copies left, and so my records are valuable to me, even though I need to sell them. But I made 300 copies of this, and now I'm down to maybe 4 copies, and the records are more valuable to me than the money, and so I like having them. And so at this point, if you're interested in owning this album, we'll have to talk because the price is going to be up. Okay. It's a collector's item now, it is, Today is May 17th, is it? 16th. Today is Robert Fripp's birthday. And I want to shout out to Robert Fripp. My King Crimson is right here so I can grab it. But Robert Fripp, the guitarist, leader of the band King Crimson, when it comes to figures in rock and roll history, Robert Fripp is important to me. Very important to me. I never put Robert Fripp on a pedestal, thankfully, like I did Peter Gabriel when I was younger. I put Peter Gabriel on a pedestal like you're not supposed to. And sure enough, Peter Gabriel disappointed me. You're not supposed to put people on pedestals. But Robert Fripp, his aesthetic, the way he plays the guitar, the way he presents himself, has always been exemplary to me, and I've learned a lot from it. Robert Fripp is someone who I perceive has been misperceived constantly by the rock music press. An intelligent man, but a real human being with a sense of humor and a life, Thank God Robert Fripp created King Crimson. This music was so important to me. I can tell you this. In high school, I was looking for something like we all were. My sophomore year of high school, I was given money for my birthday, and of course what I do, I bought a record. I bought the wrong record. I should have bought this. I hadn't heard it yet, but I was intrigued by the cover. But because I knew who they were, I bought Led Zeppelin 3 instead. I was so disappointed. That record, to this day, hats off to Roy Harper, is the only song on that album I really like, plus the Immigrant Song. That record, as a teen, me, Dereck, I'm telling you the truth, I had heard Led Zeppelin's first album. I had heard Led Zeppelin 2, and I was very familiar with it because it was played all the time on underground radio. And I really liked those albums, even though they were very bluesy. The bluesy songs I liked the least. But when Led Zeppelin 3 came out, I thought it sucked. And I'll never forget, because it was, my other choice was this, which I should have bought. But you know what I did instead? Was I bought the full-length Led Zeppelin 3, and I bought In the Court of the Crimson King on a 45, part 1 and 2. I don't have it anymore. Got it. And I don't remember what happened to it. I lost it. And when I got home and played the 2 different records, I was so pissed. This is what I was looking for. I'm not dissing Led Zeppelin. I'm telling you about me, okay? If you Led Zeppelin fans, take it personal. There's something you're not hearing in my words. That's why I keep saying it, you know. What I'm trying to tell you is not what you're hearing. Similar to the way that I perceive Robert Fripp. That Robert Fripp would say and do things that people didn't understand or get. It just went whoop. I've always paid attention to that. Robert Fripp also has worked with many different people that I love. Everyone. He's worked with everyone that I love. I don't have a dedicated Robert Fripp collection because the person that hit me at that time that I wanted to obsessively follow was Genesis Peter Gabriel. And once again, I want to say on record that I understand why a lot of people don't like Genesis. I understand why a lot of my heavy friends don't like Genesis. But I'll guarantee you that you don't understand what that band meant to me as a black kid in the darkness of the inner city life, which I did not want to embrace. Genesis was such a breath of fresh air, and the music was pastoral. It was like being in the forest or on verdant green hills. That sounded a whole lot more desirable than being in some kind of gang or always constantly fighting people because they think you're gay, and they're going to, you know, very disrespectfully just try to turn you out, get your brown dot. That's what I went through, you know. That's my real story, okay? Because I was different, you know. And everyone assumes that you're different, that you're soft, and they are very disrespectful. So King Crimson and Robert Fripp, Peter Gabriel, this music was a lifesaver for me, okay? You people need to fucking understand my story, okay? Yeah, this album kicks ass. I've seen King Crimson twice. The second time I saw them was in the 2000s. I was able to get a backstage pass. I had the opportunity to meet Robert Fripp. I was pretty stoned, but that's not the excuse. The excuse is that in the situation, I did not know what to say that I felt would have been an appropriate way to start a conversation with Robert Fripp. I spoke to Pat Mastelotto. I spoke to Trey Gunn. I talked to Adrian Belew, but I just passed by Robert Fripp this close, you know, and attempted to get eye contact with him, and that was the clue, that he was giving no eye contact. It was like, doesn't look like he wants to be bothered too much, and I don't really have much to say. At the moment, I couldn't think of what to say, and so I left him alone. I just have a couple of his solo albums. Here we go, just a few. So today is just a happy birthday to Robert Fripp, and to just talk a little bit more about my story, which is what I'm always trying to do, is talk about my story. Robert Fripp exposure. League of Gentlemen. League of Gentlemen. I thought it was so cool when he married Toya, because again, it was one of those things where on the surface it looked like Robert Fripp and Toya. Well, again, we artists, and I will speak of myself as a peer of Robert Fripp because I am. We artists, we don't belong to the public, and we don't belong to the public's perception. We're still people. He married the woman he loved. Happy birthday, Robert Fripp.